Hey, Flock Nation, the wait is finally over, and the big offseason bomb has arrived. After years of rumors and failed attempts, GM Eric DeCosta has finally spoken out about the Ravens signing DeAndre Hopkins. But what did he say? How could this move change everything for our 2025 season? Stick with me until the end, because you won't believe what's coming up. DeCosta's response about Hopkins is more important than you think. Go Raven. Imagine waiting for something for years, and then suddenly, it finally happened. That's exactly what went down with the Ravens and DeAndre Hopkins. GM Eric DeCosta didn't hide his excitement when announcing the signing, making it clear that this was a move the team had long desired. He mentioned that the Ravens have always admired Hopkins and that they finally have the chance to see him in purple and black. This wasn't just another market move. It was a piece Baltimore wanted for years, and now it's part of the team. And when a GM speaks so confidently about a signing, it shows it wasn't an impulsive decision, but something well thought out. What stands out is how DeCosta emphasized that Hopkins isn't just a good player, but someone who's been a problem for the Ravens in the past. Whenever Baltimore faced Hopkins, they knew they'd be dealing with one of the most dangerous wide receivers in the league. Now, instead of being a problem for the Ravens defense, he'll be a problem for opposing defenses. This change in scenario is crucial because it means Baltimore not only strengthened the roster, but also took a major talent off the field. DeCosta didn't just speak as a GM making a signing. He spoke as someone who understand the impact Hopkins can have on the field. Another interesting point in his statement was how DeCosta acknowledged Hopkins' family. In football, the emotional aspect is massive, and making a player feel value within an organization makes all the difference. By recognizing not just the athlete, but also the people around him, the Ravens are sending a clear message. They want Hopkins to feel a home. This isn't just about a one-year contract. It's about creating an environment where the player can perform at his best. This kind of approach may seem like a small detail, but it's part of what makes Baltimore a unique organization. Now, despite all the excitement, DeCosta and the Ravens opted for a short one-year contract. This means that while they trust Hopkins' talent, they want to see how he fits into the team before making a longer commitment. And this is where the big question comes in. How will Hopkins adapt to the Ravens' playing style? DeCosta has no doubts that he fits the team's offensive scheme, and that's exactly what we need to analyze now. When Eric DeCosta said that Hopkins fits our play style, he wasn't just saying that casually. The Ravens are a physical team that likes to set the pace and dominate opponents both on the ground and in the air. And Hopkins, even at 33 years old, is still one of the most reliable receivers in the NFL. He doesn't just rely on speed to gain separation, but uses intelligence, precise routes, and secure hands. This means he can be a reliable target for Lamar Jackson in clutch moments, whether on third downs or in the red zone. Additionally, the Ravens offense needs a wide receiver who can win individual matchups and force defenses to respect the passing game. So far, Baltimore has leaned heavily on Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews as primary targets, but they were missing that experienced player to challenge opposing defenses one-on-one. Hopkins comes in to fill that gap. His presence will force defenses to make tougher decisions. Double-team Andrews, focus on a running game with Derrick Henry, or try to contain Hopkins. This gives Lamar Jackson more options to explore and makes the Ravens' offense even more dangerous. Hopkins' track record shows that he knows how to produce, no matter the scheme he's in. Over his career, he's adapted to different quarterbacks and offensive systems while maintaining high production. With the Ravens, the idea is for him to complement the offense rather than carry the responsibility alone. With a powerful running game and a quarterback who can extend plays, Hopkins can benefit from situations where the defense is overly focused on other threats. The fit isn't just theoretical, it has a potential to be practical and efficient on the field. Now, all of this will only work if Hopkins still has enough left in the tank to produce at a high level. DeCosta believes he does, and the receiver's recent numbers show he can still be a difference maker. But can he still be a dominant playmaker? That's what we'll analyze next. When DeCosta spoke about Hopkins, he didn't just highlight his experience, but also the respect the Ravens have had for him over the years. This is no small thing. NFL teams study their opponents meticulously, and when a GM says they've always admired a player, it means that player has caused serious trouble for them in the past. Hopkins is that kind of player. Over his career, he's tormented many defenses, and Baltimore was one of them. Now, having that talent on their side instead of against them completely changes the dynamic. DeCosta mentioned that the Ravens tried to trade for Hopkins back in 2020, but he ended up going to the Cardinals. This shows that this wasn't a random signing, but part of a long-term plan that has finally come to fruition. The fact that Baltimore tried to acquire him before and insisted on doing so now shows how much they believe he can contribute. Few players in the league have this level of prestige, where a team keeps an eye on them for years. And if anyone still doubts doubt Hopkins' quality. Just look at his numbers. Even last season, playing for 2 different teams with no stability, he still managed over 600 yards and 5 touchdowns. The year before, he surpassed 1,000 yards in an offense that wasn't even one of the most explosive. In other words, even when the circumstances aren't ideal, Hopkins delivers results. Now, alongside an elite quarterback like Lamar Jackson, the expectation is that his impact will be even greater. The big question now is, what can we expect from him in the 2025 season? The Ravens believe he can still play at a high level, but only his performance on the field will confirm that. And for a player of this caliber, the right environment can make all the difference, something DeCosta made sure to emphasize in his statement. Well, we're past the halfway point of the video, but I notice you haven't left a like yet. It's really important so that YouTube keeps recommending my content to you, and I'll keep bringing it to you. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free. Thanks. Let's continue. One of the most interesting parts of DeCosta's statement was when he not only welcomed Hopkins, but also congratulated his family. It may seem like a small detail, but in the NFL world, it says a lot about the culture of a team. When a GM mentions a player's family, he's sending a clear message. We want you to feel at home here. And this mindset makes a difference when it comes to keeping a player motivated and comfortable to give his best. Hopkins has been through different franchises, some more organized than others. Having an environment where he feels valued can help him adapt faster and perform at a high level. The Ravens have always been known for having a strong culture and treating their players well. This isn't just talk, it's part of the team's identity. And when you want to get the most out of an experienced veteran, showing him that he's welcome can be a differentiator. Additionally, this posture from the franchise also serves to reinforce the commitment to the players coming in. The Ravens aren't just bringing in a wide receiver for a 1-year contract. They're investing in a player who could be a key piece in the quest for the Super Bowl. Hopkins won't just be another guy on the roster. He comes in with respect, with a clear role on the team, and this could motivate him to give even more on the field. But of course, in the end, everything will depend on what he shows with the ball in his hand. And that's where a key point comes in. The Ravens trusted his talent, but they were also cautious by offering a short-term contract. This brings us to the last piece of the puzzle. The Ravens bet on a 1-year deal. Despite all the excitement over Hopkins' arrival, the Ravens decided to offer only a 1-year contract. This can be seen in 2 ways, as a vote of confidence in the player's talent, but also as a precaution. At 33 years old, Hopkins can still produce at a high level, but the team wants to see how he adapts before committing to a long-term deal. For the Ravens, this is a low-risk move with high potential reward. If Hopkins performs well, he could secure a new contract, whether with Baltimore or even attracting the interest of other franchises. For him, this is a crucial season. A productive year could mean another big contract in his career, but if the performance falls short, the Ravens aren't tied down to a long-term financial commitment. This kind of approach is common when teams sign experienced veterans, and it makes sense for both parties. The big advantage for Baltimore is that Hopkins arrives at a team where he doesn't have to carry the offense. With Lamar Jackson at the helm, Derrick Henry in the backfield, and other talented targets on the roster, he can focus on doing what he does best, being a playmaker when the team needs him most. If he can replicate past performances and be a reliable target for Lamar, the Ravens will have made one of the best moves of the offseason. Now, all of this depends on how Hopkins performs on the field. If he shows that he still has what it takes to be one of the best in the league, this bet by the Ravens could turn into one of the smartest moves of the season. Now, with everything we've discussed, it's clear. Signing DeAndre Hopkins isn't just a strategic play, but a bold move that could define the Ravens season. He's an essential piece of the team, a true difference maker who goes far beyond just being an elite receiver. His importance to the team is undeniable, and Eric DeCosta can't afford to let this unique opportunity slip away to strengthen the offense. The real question is, how will Hopkins shape Baltimore's offense and take our team to new heights? If you also believe Hopkins can be the key to the Ravens' success, share your thoughts in the comments and show how vital he is to the team. We can't let this decision be the one that holds us back on the path to the title. Until next time, Ravens,